Here we go again. Back to clearly the best Star Trek, Voyager, obviously.
Wrong.
I haven't done one of these before, so I think it's about time that I do an actual episode review. A while back, I saw a post from someone that said one of their favorite episodes of Voyager was from Season 3, the episode called Real Life, which, if you don't remember, is the episode where the Doctor makes himself a wife and some holographic babies to experience what having an actual family is like. So I thought this episode would be a great first episode to do an actual review on, and I've been kinda kicking it around for a bit in my list of to-dos, and there's tons of shows that I would love to do reviews on and have already put them in the list. Of course, since my memory is usually really bad, I had to rewatch this episode. I honestly forgot how emotionally rough this episode was or can be, especially if you have experienced these sort of things firsthand. It's one of the few episodes in Voyager that actually focuses heavily on family, grief, and loss. It also could be seen as one of the prelude episodes to the Doctor learning how to actually cope with his own emotions, and this episode is considered to be one of the better episodes of Voyager, or at least from Season 3, I guess. It deals with a lot of things that we all have to deal with in our life or have experienced ourselves. And before we dive in, if you like this type of content, deep dives, reviews, and everything in between, I do all sorts of things here, which means there's a little something for everyone. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. It helps a ton and it's completely free. Plus, I'm pretty sure it helps with the YouTube sorcery that happens behind the scenes. Alright, with all of that out of the way, let's get into it. This episode opens with an aggressively super stereotypical daydream of a family that we wish we all had. I'm not even kidding, it's like disturbingly perfect. It's revealed that the Doctor has created an entire domestic family for himself, a wife, a son, and a daughter. And it makes sense given that the Doctor has no real reference to what an actual family is like. This is just what he assumes all families are like. He invites B'Elanna and Kes to join his family for dinner.
The little woman has been asking me to bring some of my colleagues home for dinner. Perhaps you and Kes would care to join us tonight?
And they do go, of course. And right out of the gate at this dinner party, his wife is kind of off-putting. Like, I don't know what it is about it. It's just really uncanny, I guess. Nobody is like this.
Anyway, he works terribly hard and he's under such great stress. I want this home to be his sanctuary.
How nice for him.
This is the worst.
I mean, we all wish our families were like this, but the reality is they're not. You can tell from this first initial dinner that the Doctor has made them the literal definition of a perfect family. No flaws, just 5 stars across the board. And I'm willing to bet that there is a live, laugh, love sign somewhere in the house, or at least some other super stereotypical decorations everywhere. The look on B'Elanna's face at this dinner pretty much sums it up, and she ain't having it.
Computer freeze program.
She freezes the program and, in B'Elanna fashion, brutally and bluntly confronts the Doctor about this family.
I am stopping this before my blood sugar levels overload. If you think that this is giving you an accurate impression of being in a family, you are sadly mistaken. They're kind of perfect. They are ridiculously perfect. No one has a family like this. This is a fantasy.
Because, of course, B'Elanna being B'Elanna, she doesn't do or know how to do anything polite.
You're not going to learn anything from being with these lollipops.
I swear, she's the type of person that would get mad at the wind for blowing too hard. Families have conflict, chaos, messiness. They are not perfectly scripted interactions designed to make you feel good about yourself or to boost your ego. I mean, we all wish it was, but it's not. Oftentimes, it's the exact opposite of that. She basically tells him this is not a family. This is a fan club wearing cardigans. B'Elanna tells him how wrong this is, but I think he just doesn't fully understand what is wrong with this pristine family he has created. This is what he genuinely thought a family was when he created this program, and he clearly doesn't fully understand that yet. After her spiel and confronting the Doctor, she offers to make it more accurate to what families are actually like. You know, add in all the chaos and bad bits too.
It just needs a little tweaking to bring it closer to real life. I can help if you'd like.
Meanwhile, we have the B-plot going, where they're investigating a subspace rift or spatial anomaly or whatever. But honestly, it's basically a space tornado with whatever technobabble they need to fill out the episode. The old classic Delta Quadrant is trying to kill us in some vaguely scientific Voyager way. The A plot is where all the emotional heavy lifting and weight is of this episode. The B plot in this really didn't need to be in this episode, and I think the episode would have been even better had they just focused on the Doctor and his family experience. I think that would have been a better episode all around had they just focused on that. So I'm not really going to focus on the B-plot much, since it kinda sucks, and it's not really relevant. Sorry, but your space tornado is less interesting than the holographic family drama unfolding. Anyways, back to the Doctor. He comes to realize that he actually wants the true, authentic experience to what having a family is actually like. The Doctor thinks it will be smooth sailing regardless of any changes to the program. One thing I really like about this episode is that you can really tell he is still learning what it is to be more than just his programming. He doesn't fully understand the intricate ups and downs of family life, and he is about to fully experience it, and he really has no idea what he's about to walk into. So B'Elanna has already made the necessary changes to his family that will liven them up a bit. So he returns home, and the house is in complete disarray. This is basically what my living rooms looked like when I was growing up. And there is this god-awful music playing.
What is that noise?
Oh, tell Jeffrey to turn that off. It makes my eyes hurt.
Mine too.
Mine too, little one. Mine too. I guess the one kid has gone full Klingon wannabe.
What is that music?
Klingon.
He says that as if he is so damn proud of himself. That is literally the same proud, smug energy that I have when I tell people, oh, I went to bed early. Meanwhile, it was actually 3:30 a.m. because I spent most of the night doom scrolling on my phone in bed. I mean, it's technically early, right?
Technically?
The Doctor is basically at his boiling point when two of his Klingon friends show up.
I need my Aunt Millie.
Honestly, she is pretty lucky, because when I was a kid, I would have gotten the full tilt. The kid, in kid fashion, just ignores his dad and tells them to come in. If I tried that when I was growing up, my parents would have whooped my ass.
That's like calling 1-800-collect an ass whooping.
At this point, you can tell the Doctor is really not prepared for a true family experience after all. We get some more B-plot as Tom and B'Elanna flirt, I guess, before they discuss the Doctor's new and improved family, as the weird space tornado reappears. It's like 5 more minutes of techno mumbo jumbo, so moving on. As Tom is in sickbay to get some special space juice, he talks to the Doctor about his new family.
How's the family, Doc? I hear they're a real handful.
I have analyzed the situation and come up with a solution. There should be no more problems.
The Doctor clearly just doesn't understand how a family actually is. He's still treating them like a patient that he can just diagnose and cure.
I'm not sure you can diagnose and cure a family.
We'll see.
So we head back into the holodeck for some more family fun, where he has set a family meeting of sorts, which is actually just a way of him trying to order them around. He literally hands them schedules and rules and regulations.
To that end, I have drawn up a revised family schedule and a list of rules and regulations.
The Doctor explains that sacrifices need to be made, as he completely rearranges all of their schedules to suit his needs. And the boy asks,
What sacrifices did you make?
all I could think of was, your existence is my sacrifice. And obviously, it doesn't go over well with the little troublemaker.
You can't just decide who my friends will be.
Hold on.
I found this kind of funny. When I tried that on my parents, you know what they would say? As long as you're living under my roof, you're goddamn right I can. That is literally all they would say, and I couldn't do a damn thing about it. And the Doctor gets there eventually. The Doctor goes on to basically tell his wife, shut up, woman. I make the rules.
Charlene, I expect you to support me in these decisions.
And obviously, that doesn't go over so well, and rightfully so. It really sort of shows the Doctor doesn't fully understand how valuable communication or a marriage and two-way parenting works in reality. He just assumes that what he says is law and everyone should abide by it. But sorry Doc, this ain't the 1950s. The family powwow ends exactly how you expect it would, with everyone extremely pissed off. The best part of this scene actually is the aftermath. When the daughter and the Doctor are talking, he truly doesn't understand what makes a family function.
Oh, I must admit, I fail to understand their reaction.
And this scene does kind of show the Doctor start to understand how to balance that family life. A lot of times, our best judgments on what we view as the best choice might not be. And without us realizing it, It might just actually be our own selfish wants and needs rather than what is best suited for the family. That happens. The beautiful thing about this is that the daughter does give in, but not just for the sake of accepting whatever she's told.
If it'll help, Daddy, I'll be on the second team.
Thank you, Bill.
I think it shows that in a family structure, to help each other, sometimes we have to make sacrifices for the benefit of others in the family. Sometimes you just have to do that. Sure, we may not like that, but that's just what you do for the ones you love sometimes. And I think the doctor actually sees the error of his ways in trying to force this structure onto the family when the daughter does agree to do what he's asked. Yeah, it might be a bit awkward of a scene, but in his evolution as a person, I think it does actually help him. He's getting the full package experience here, aren't you, Doc?
Even if you did make a mess of things.
Then we get some more space tornado filler, blah blah blah. Sorry, but your space shenanigans still aren't as interesting as the holodrama unfolding. Anyways, as the doctor is mulling over his emotions and the events from earlier, he confesses to Kes that he's having some issues at home.
Actually, I've been having a few problems at home.
She convinces him that he can't ignore his family because things aren't the best.
Doctor, you can't just ignore them.
And eventually, he does decide to go back home.
Initiate Doctor's Family Program Beta Rho.
And once again, he goes home to another scene unfolding, this time with the two Klingon dingbats in his home holding a knife, with some smart-ass comments from his little troublemaker.
What is it? It's a knife. What does it look like?
Thanks, Captain Obvious. Yeah, you better shut up, boy. Of course, in typical Klingon fashion, we get some ritual or another of ascension. You know, Klingons love a good stabby ritual. The doctor ain't having none of it. He knows exactly that they are lying to him and tells them he knows exactly what that knife is for. A bloodletting ceremony to become a warrior.
I happen to know something about Klingon rituals, and I believe this is actually a dagger of Kutlach. This dagger is used in a ritual of violence, a first bloodletting in preparation for becoming a warrior.
The doctor goes full dad vibes.
Who's supposed to use this? Is one of you preparing for the Kutlach ceremony? I'm waiting for an answer.
And boots them out.
I'm going to have to ask you boys to leave.
I would have done it way earlier. Kid goes full angry brat mode.
Now look what you've done! You've ruined it!
Another pretty accurate plot point, actually. I think most teenagers kind of go through this rebellious phase where they do or think they know what they want and do some pretty reckless things, thinking that they know what is best, when in reality, they never do. I mean, I know I went through that. Hell, I was probably actually way worse than he is.
If you expect to live in this household, you will abide by the rules.
There it is. I knew it was coming. And the kid responds exactly how we all did.
If that's the way you want it, then I won't live here.
It's like a veiled threat. I know that you know that our parents knew we had nowhere else to go, but we would use that as if it was some sort of leverage that would make them magically change their minds, when in reality, it never would. Most of us, we couldn't go anywhere. We didn't have money or jobs. Really, what are we gonna do? Nothing. That's what. Absolutely nothing. From here, this is where the episode takes a wildly dark turn. We go from light-hearted sitcom family shenanigans to gut punch family tragedy real fast. His daughter Belle gets into an accident during one of her games.
What is it? What's happened?
It's Belle. There's been an accident.
So the doctor and another operated on her to no improvement. As they fixed one hemorrhage, another would pop up immediately.
Dr. Finley and I operated on her for 3 hours. We've tried everything. We shut down one hemorrhage and another starts.
Which, you know what? Honestly, this is just kind of cruel of B'Elanna to put something like this even in the doctor's program at all. I understand the point she's trying to make of having this sort of thing happen to him so he understands what it feels like. But what? There was no chance of saving her at all within this program? Sure, it might have been random, but really? This was like the hardest thing you could have made him go through in the shortest amount of time possible of having a family to begin with. Yes, loss is something that we all have to deal with, and we can't avoid it. But I mean, come on, B'Elanna. Really? Really? Why would this even be a possible outcome? The doctor explains that there is no saving her, and they cannot do anything at all.
Then what do? What's the treatment? What's going to happen to her?
There's nothing more to be done. Nothing medical, anyway.
The scene is seriously heartbreaking. I can't even imagine what it's like to lose a child as a parent. I'm not a parent. That would be one of the hardest things you could ever have to experience in life. And the doctor is starting to realize that. And then, just to add even more sadness, the daughter wakes up and god damn it, was this gut punching.
Daddy,
I'm here.
everything's all blurry.
You took a tumble. Hit your head.
Doesn't hurt.
Because we gave you some medicine.
Is that why I can't feel my legs?
Yes.
What's gonna happen? When will I be able to see again?
Like, fuck me, dude. I can't. Every time this scene gets me. Every damn time. And even when I go to edit this, it will again. I'm gonna have to mute it or something. For anyone, that would just be too much, and rightfully so, the doctor ends the program immediately.
Computer end program.
If only we all could do that. After this scene, the doctor's playing it off like he's totally fine in sickbay. Cass finds him and asks how the family's going.
How's the family?
I suppose they're fine.
The doctor explains that he's ended the program and won't be going back since he got everything he has wanted from it.
I'd actually finished the program.
Finished?
Well, I'd gotten what I needed from the experience.
Oh, I'm sure you got a lot more than you wanted, Doc. You can tell he is still feeling the aftermath of that scene and still struggling to deal with those emotions that he just experienced. Thanks again, B'Elanna. We get some more B-plot drama. Honestly, I just wish this was its own episode all about the doctor. The whole space tornado thing is just filler, and it really didn't need to be here. At this point, the doctor is really having his experience affect everything he does in sickbay. He goes full breakdown on Paris for his reckless choices and actions before catching himself and stopping.
People like you who court danger should be thrown into the brig. Doc! You never think of the consequences of your actions. Oh no, live for the moment. Take risks you shouldn't.
Obviously, Paris picks up on this and asks him what is going on.
Are you all right?
And the doctor explains that Belle is going to die.
My daughter Belle had an accident. She's going to die.
When he tells Paris that he shut it down and is not going back,
I shut down the program. I'm not going back.
Paris tells him what an actual family is and explains that we don't get to choose to simply shut it off when bad things happen.
Most people don't have that choice. You created that program so you could experience what it's like to have a family. The good times and the bad. You can't have one without the other.
Families come with good times and also bad times. You can't have one without the other. Paris compares it to the crew of Voyager and how everyone on the ship left people behind or have or has experienced loss similar to what the doctor is going through.
Think about what's happened to us here on Voyager. Everyone left people behind, and everyone suffered a loss.
But at the same time, that's not really the same there, Tom. Their family is still alive, waiting back in the Alpha Quadrant. Like, I understand the comparison point he is trying to make to get the doctor to understand, but it's apples to oranges. It's not really the same thing. It would be the same if, like, Paris and B'Elanna lost their child. That's the same. It's not the same that if I go on a trip and then get stuck there, that I'm experiencing a loss. At best, it's mildly relatable because death and distance are not the same thing.
You're goddamn right.
Tom also tries to get the doctor to understand that he can lean on his wife and son, and vice versa.
Or to be there for your wife and son when they need you. And you'll be cheating yourself of the chance to have their love and support. In the long run, you'll miss the whole point of what it means to have a family.
Especially when they need each other the most, and that experience is a vital part of being alive. But I'ma just say it. Fuck you, B'Elanna. I get it. I do. I understand what they're trying to make him experience. But this is sort of an extreme circumstance. As tragic as this is, I don't think the majority of people who have children experience child loss at such a young age like this program is showing him. It's literally throwing the worst, most extreme case scenario at him in his first experience. That's like if I want to go skydiving and my first skydive is with a wingsuit base jumping off the Eiffel Tower.
That just makes no sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck. Oh my.
It's the most extreme case that the majority don't face. Yeah, children might injure themselves, but this, really? Again, fuck you, B'Elanna. So the doctor does go back to the program after Tom's speech and consoles his daughter.
Computer, continue Doctor's Family Program Beta Row from the last point of deactivation.
And it just goes right back to the gut-punching sadness.
Daddy, What's gonna happen to me? When will I be able to see again? Am I gonna die?
Here I am with my dog looking at me the entire time, rewatching it like, what the hell's wrong with you? And my dumbass is sitting here trying to explain and justify to my dog that I was teary-eyed and sad because a fake person in a fake TV show in a simulated experience was losing their fake child in a program that he could just end at any moment. What the hell is wrong with me? Good Lord. It's such a weird experience, man. Watching this episode is so surreal. You watch this episode knowing that the doctor himself, who can't technically die, experience one of the worst possible things you can experience as a human in this completely simulated experience. I understand that you can't have the good of a family without accepting the possibility of loss within it, because that is ultimately what makes those relationships real and valuable. But again, this is one of the most extreme circumstances that can happen within a family, and he chooses to go back into it and fully experience it. Now, I really want B'Elanna to experience it. Why would she put that in there? Like, she kind of took too much liberty there. That's just really messed up of her to do that. The family all stays with Belle as she passes. The episode ends with the doctor and his holographic family grieving a holographic loss that all somehow feels so real.
It's getting darker. I'm sleepy.
It's all right. We're all right here.
I can't stress this enough. It's one of the better episodes in Voyager, and by far, I truly think it's the saddest one. It's so gut-wrenching, hearing things like that from a child, real or fake, especially when they're taken from this world way too soon. It's not fair, and B'Elanna having that possibility in there at all? Seriously? For maybe the last time? Fuck you, B'Elanna. So, what are some key takeaways from this episode besides never letting B'Elanna reprogram anything ever again unsupervised? Well, on the surface, it's just about the doctor learning that real life includes pain and loss, not just the happy moments or joyful ones. Pain is inevitable. Thanks for the reminder, Star Trek. But I kind of think there's something a bit deeper here about avoidance and authenticity, and the full human experience that we all have to go through. Throughout all of Voyager, the Doctor is learning, growing, and sometimes struggles with wanting to be seen as more than just a program. He wants to be treated as a real person, to have the same rights, respect, and his own authentic lived experiences of what it actually means to be alive, like the rest of the crew members. But here, when given the opportunity to experience something extremely fundamentally human, which is grief and loss, albeit in this instance one of the most extreme cases, his first instinct was to avoid it and run away from it. Sort of like we all would do. That is pretty human, actually. Whether that be with alcohol or substances or any kind of escapism to avoid grief and loss, we all have done that at some point. And in terms of his growth as a person, I find it to be a really interesting take on how we all too sometimes want that feeling of emotional or personal growth and depth without the actual work that comes with it. The Doctor wanted a family because it seemed like something a real person would have. It's like a status symbol of being a human in his eyes. But when it stopped being convenient and started being hard and painful, he tried to opt out, which, fair. If we could all opt out of pain, I think we all absolutely would. But that's not how life works. The reality is, real relationships aren't like that. You can't program your kids to make good decisions, or the decisions you want them all the time to make. And you can't edit out all the bad and painful bits because you don't want to experience them. That's not how life works. I mean, I think we all wish we could do that, but we can't. That is probably what B'Elanna was trying to teach him, though her teaching methods, albeit the most extreme worst-case scenario and basically the equivalent of let's throw you off a cliff and see if you can fly, it is true that it is sadly something we may all have to experience at some point, and it is a realistic possibility, so I do get it. However, come on, B'Elanna. That was a bit cruel to have that as a possibility for his first rodeo. Now, is this episode perfect? No. Of course not. The entire B-plot with the space tornado feels tacked on, and there really is like ultimately one scene where even thematically it fits into the main plot. It's like the writers of this episode didn't want to fully commit to the holodrama and the Doctor's family as the full episode. You really didn't need to add space action at all for this one. I don't know why they did that. And there is definitely way worse episodes that have no space action in them. If they removed all of the B-plot stuff, they could have even had more time showing the Doctor bonding with his family before the tragedy. Albeit, the episode is still tragic and sad. It would have been even more impactful had we as the audience had more time to grow attached to them as well. Because we only really get a few scenes of him struggling with the realistic version of his family, and I would have loved to see more moments of him actually connecting and building that bond. Belle's death would have been so much more tragic had we had more time to become attached to them as well. Overall, this episode does what Star Trek does best. It uses science fiction to explore deeply human experiences. The Doctor is a hologram with a holographic family, but the emotions are completely real to him, and that's what matters. The Doctor as a character in Voyager tends to lean more towards the dramatics, I guess we'll say. But in this episode, he's quiet, sad, and completely devastated. He feels that loss. And the scene at the end of him experiencing that grief and the death of Belle didn't need any words. He was just being present for the moment, as we all do. We all have no choice but to do that in life when we lose someone. Grief and loss are fundamentally human, and we can't avoid that. This episode reminds me of the TNG episode, where Data creates a daughter and then loses her. I think it's called Offspring. Both episodes, however, deal with artificial beings experiencing loss and grief, but I think real life does something more interesting and also did it better. In the TNG episode, Lal was malfunctioning and Data didn't have a choice, whereas the Doctor in real life could have literally deleted the program at any time he wanted, which makes the decision to stay and go back even more meaningful. He chose the pain voluntarily. He chose to experience that loss when he didn't have to. I don't think any of us would choose to have that experience if we had the choice. That's what makes this so much more impactful. This episode truly is one of the hardest hitting episodes in all of Voyager. It doesn't suffer too much from the techno-babble that Voyager often falls into in a lot of other episodes. The Doctor starts this episode with wanting the experience of what having a family is actually like, and probably wanted that experience without any of the mess that comes with it. But by the end of the episode, he understands that the mess is the point. The mess is what makes life real. The good and the bad. And in terms of Voyager, there's also something to be said about how this episode handles the grief and loss, honestly. Belle doesn't miraculously recover at the last minute. There's no last minute cure or time travel fix or Q showing up to reverse it all. She dies. That's it. And the Doctor has to sit with that reality, as we all do. The loss is permanent, and that's what makes it real. The finality of life. And he chose to do that. You can't have the good without the bad. Well, I guess that wraps up this video. I know it's probably a bit longer than I would have liked. I hope you enjoyed it. It's first time actually doing an episode review, so hopefully it was coherent enough and makes sense to you all. Not really sure how to fully structure or properly structure these yet, so that may take a bit of time. If you have any thoughts of your own on this episode or any thoughts of my review on it, please do let me know in the comment section below. I love hearing from you all, and I try to respond to as many people as I can, as often as I can. We have had some pretty amazing discussions, and I look forward to having even more of them with you all. Oh, and before I end this video, I just wanted to give everyone the heads up, and I will probably be doing so in the next few videos, so you may see some changes happening around the channel. Namely, the logo, the name, and all that branding jazz that comes with it. So don't be alarmed if you see some changes. The channel will be going through a rebranding to better suit the type of content that we have here. But don't worry, nothing that you love is changing. It's just about time that I've gotten my together, so to speak. I am super excited to get these things in motion, and I really hope you all like it, and all the new stuff that is being worked on. And trust me, I think you will. So for now, if you liked this video, Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, as it helps a ton with the YouTube wizardry that goes on behind the scenes, and I appreciate it a lot. So thanks again for watching this video. Till next time, see you later.
No one has a family like this. This is a fantasy. You're not going to learn anything from being with these lollipops.